Hey guys, I'm here today with Dr. Turner. Thank you, Dr. Turner, for coming on the show today.
Thank you, Chris, for having me. I'm honored.
And so, today we're gonna be talking about the SELPA, and he's gonna tell us a little bit about his job as the SELPA director. So first question, what is the SELPA?
Yeah, great question, Chris. So in special education, we love our acronyms. So I'm going to spell this one out for you. So a SELPA is a special education local plan area. And SELPAs date back to the late 1970s. So in our country, in 1975, Congress passed a law known as Public Law 94-142. We know it today as the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. And shortly after that law was passed by Congress, our state formed SELPAs in the state of California. And so SELPAs can either be single district, multi-district, or charter school. And effectively, SELPAs coordinate special education and related services for students with disabilities across the geographic area.
Cool. And so how many SELPAs are there in total that you work for?
So I work for one SELPA, but in the state of California, there's 136 SELPAs.
What do you like about your job?
Yeah, so they like to say if you've seen one SELPA, you've only seen one SELPA. So each SELPA is going to be a little different. I've had the pleasure of working in 2 different SELPAs. So I was SELPA director in South Orange County SELPA, so in Orange County. We had 2 districts in South Orange County SELPA. In my current SELPA, we have 10 unified school districts and we have 6 charter schools. And I think what I like most about the job is just being able to work with our superintendents and our directors of special education to develop programs based on the needs of our students in our SELPA. So those needs are going to be different depending on which SELPA you work in, and we get to work to make innovative programs to meet students' needs.
What kind of programs have you guys created?
Yeah, so in East San Gabriel Valley SELPA, we have about 90,000 students total across the SELPA in average daily attendance. So that's all students. Students with IEPs, students without IEPs. We have 90,000 students across the SELPA. We have approximately 13,000 students that have IEPs. And so throughout the SELPA, districts run their own programs for students with disabilities. And then at the SELPA level, we coordinate regionalized services that are available across those districts in the SELPA to meet the students' needs. So to give you some examples, we have one district, Covina Valley, that long before there was a federal law to provide special education, they provided deaf and hard of hearing services to the community, and they continue to be the regionalized program for our students that are deaf and hard of hearing. We have a program out here in Claremont that is for students with orthopedic impairments and other medical needs. We have a district that runs programs for students with emotional disabilities. We have districts that run programs for students with visual impairments. We have districts that run programs that are non-categorical, meaning that there's students with various disabilities that could be in those programs. And then maybe unique to our SELPA, we actually oversee a large autism program that's available in 5 different districts. And so students from throughout the SELPA can access that program based on their IEP team recommendation. I want to say that I'm talking about programs that are available in those districts. All of those programs are available on comprehensive school sites, meaning that there's ample access to regular education, general education, mainstreaming and inclusion wherever possible.
Nice. How many years have you been a part of the SELPA? I know you've been a part of many, but how many?
Yeah.
How many years in total have you done it? And what have you learned from the students?
So I have been a SELPA director for a little over 9 years. So about 2.5 years I was director of South Orange County SELPA. And then in February, I just celebrated 7 years with East San Gabriel Valley SELPA. So about 9.5 years total as a SELPA director. And I think what I enjoy most about it is really just being able to develop programs that meet students' needs, innovative programs. One that's been really exciting over the last few years is we have a new adult transition program that, of all places, the adult transition program is at Kaiser Permanente Baldwin Park. So students in their last year of their adult transition program have an opportunity to be interns at Kaiser Baldwin Park in various departments. So that's just one example, but running programs in various districts has got to be the highlight of the job.
Nice. So what is your favorite program that you helped create in the last few years that you've been a part of?
Yeah, great question, Chris. So I want to be clear that our districts all operate the programs. Even for our programs in the autism program, the districts provide the teachers, they provide the instructional assistants and the supports. We just get the pleasure of helping them lead the programs and coordinating the services. So one of the big responsibilities as a SELPA director is you're supporting multiple school districts, and so you always have to be neutral. So I'm going to answer your question that maybe I cannot have a favorite, but my background was as a preschool special education teacher. I don't know if you know that, Chris. So of all grade levels, I taught 3, 4, and 5-year-olds with disabilities. And so I'd have to say my favorite would be getting out to a preschool level program, whether it's preschool, kindergarten, kids at that age. You're just a rock star when you walk on campus, and they just light up. So I love getting time. I'll give you an example. This year, visited multiple sites during Halloween because the preschool knows how to do trick-or-treating, and that's where you want to be around Halloween.
Yeah, I've been, as you know, I went to Danbury, and like every year I see you or like Tavia walking around.
Yep.
See the kids light up, and thank you so much for what you do for this community. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Chris. We couldn't do it without our community, and you're a big part of that community. I want to talk a little bit about what you've been up to with us, with our advocacy in Sacramento. I know we're going to be doing another trip here very soon. And as I mentioned earlier, you know, IDEA is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year. So 50 years that we've had special education in federal law. And a lot of that was through self-advocacy. So a lot of individuals with disabilities advocated at Congress to really push for a federal law so that all students would have an entitlement to special education. So I always like to think that there's still a lot of work to be done, and we need advocacy at all levels, and you're quite the student advocate. So I look forward to going to Sacramento again this year with you.
When my mom told me, I'm like, yeah, I'll go again. so thank you for letting me go again, and I hope I can engage more people about student advocacy. So yeah. For like people who don't like know what is self-advocacy mean to you, and like why do you think it's so important?
Yeah, great question. So self-advocacy to me means that we need to have a voice at all levels. So when I'm working as a SELPA director at the local level, I'm trying to get the needs of our communities, of our students, of our staff, and trying to advocate on what's best for our students, staff, etc. I think when we think about it at the state and federal level, advocating, it's really important that we're making sure that our voices are heard. I know you've met some of our state representatives, and on any given day, they're voting on numerous issues. They're hearing numerous issues across the state. And so it's important for us to let them know what's going on at the local level related to our programs, our initiatives, and how we're better trying to support students. So it's grassroots advocacy that we need. And we know that 50 years ago, there were self-advocates that really pushed at the federal level to bring about our federal law, and this is going to be another big year where we can push at all levels to try to improve outcomes for our students and their families.
Yeah, I hope you guys understand how much student activity means to me. Because I've been trying to push it more and more, and like, it's kind of funny because like I always ask my mom, I'm like, what did you guys talk about today during the SELPA meeting? And then she looks at me and smiles and she tells me what you guys talked about, and I'm like, when I'm in college, I'm gonna try to still be involved.
Yeah. We would love to have you involved. And I should speak about that a little bit. So SELPAs all have to have a governance council. So single district SELPAs, that's usually their school district. So there's one district in their SELPA, and they have a school district board that is their governance council. In our SELPA, our governance council is our superintendent. So we have a superintendent's council that meets per our local plan 5 times per year that helps make those decisions on behalf of students with disabilities. And one of the big voices that's part of our local plan is our parents. And so through our community advisory committee, we have many parents. Your mom is one of them. Probably a group of about 30 that are actively attending those meetings to really make sure that the voices of our students and our families are being heard, and the decisions that we're making at the SELPA level. So that's really important. And we have one student on our CAC. We're actively trying to expand. So if you find some more time in college, we would love to have you still involved.
Yeah, I'm gonna find a way, because I really hope we grow as a community, and I want to show kids how to speak up for themselves.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, so SELPA is really important to me, and ever since my mom joined, you and Tavia are doing an amazing job. And I always tell my mom, I said, does God ever get like tired? Cause I like every time I see this guy working, he's always on the phone and working hard, so I really do appreciate you moving the needle forward.
Ooh, I like that, Chris, moving the needle. Thank you. It's an honor coming from you. Appreciate the kind words.
Yeah. What else would you like to achieve with the SELPA?
Yeah, so You know, one of the big focus areas right now in our state and across the country is what we call least restrictive environment. So trying to have more students spend the majority of their day in general education. So I like to reflect on the fact that special education, the field, the federal law is only 50 years old. So I think we're at the forefront of this field. And I'd like to think we're going to continue to make substantial progress in getting more and more students meaningfully included in general education. And I know there's a big push right now to hopefully in the future not need to say the word inclusion, because that becomes the default where all students start in general education, and we try to support them in those environments to the greatest extent we can. So that would be one of the areas I hope to focus on in my career, trying to support more and more students in general education, keeping them alongside. They're typically developing peers and those opportunities that present themselves in those general education classrooms.
So, for people who don't really know, can you talk about like how important it is to get everyone involved?
Yeah. So yes, our goal is always to prepare our students for college and career, whatever that might look like. And so we're always trying to identify ways that we can support our students to be as independent as possible as they leave our school systems. And so inclusion is really important because they're going to live in their communities, and we need to prepare them to be ready to be independent and to be gainfully employed whenever possible, and work towards their own futures. And so inclusion is a big piece in that, and trying to prepare students for those later steps in life.
What made you want to be the SELPA director?
So I had an interesting trajectory to education. I was studying, of all things, sociology and criminal justice in college. Really wanted to go into law enforcement and potentially criminal profiling. I was really into anything related to crime. And it was an opportunity that was supposed to just help me get through college to be an instructional aide in a school district that really changed my career goal. And so upon graduating with a degree in criminal justice and sociology, I surprised many by going into teaching. I taught for about 7 years as an early childhood special education teacher, so preschool level, and then moved into some other administrative positions as a program specialist and eventually a principal of a large preschool program in Orange County. And through that position, I worked with a couple different districts that had students in our program that led to me becoming the SELPA director. So as a principal in the preschool program, we had 2 districts in that SELPA, and they both had students in our program. And I got to work closely with the directors of special education in both of those districts. And it led to an opportunity to apply to be the SELPA director when the position became vacant.
Where can people learn more about SELPA's Dr.
Yeah, so I have the privilege this year of being chair of our SELPA Administrators of California Association. It's the 136 SELPAs across the state. And any of your viewers can find out more information at SELPA, SELPA .info, INFO, SELPA.info.
SELPA.info. So check it out. They got some really good stuff over there. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you learned a little bit more about the SELPA. I certainly did. So, and I also want to thank Dr. Turner for coming on the show with me today to talk about the SELPA. Why isn't so important? So like, comment, share this video with 5 people in case they don't know what the SELPA is. So tell them to come and watch my video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Bye.